All right, we're live, man. What up, everybody? Whoever's out there. My name is Jeremy. This is the Millennial in Arizona podcast. I'm here with John. John's my writing partner. We've known each other for, Jesus, I don't know, 5 years? 6 years?
Right now, I'm just thinking too long.
Oh, man. It's for sure too long. It's been a long time, man.
It's been... It's been like 5 years.
Yeah. We met in... No, maybe longer than that. Like 2011?
Yeah.
It's probably 7 years
Yeah.
about... Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, it's 2018.
We're old fucks.
My math is bad.
Yeah, so we met at NAU, Northern Arizona University.
Yep.
In English class.
It wasn't an English class.
It was...
No, it was that weird, like, books are better than movies class or whatever.
Yeah, that
the
was
asshole
it.
made us read the fucking... Okay, so all you Blade Runner fans out there, you guys can eat a dick. Okay, like Blade Runner, fine. It's okay. For its time, amazing. Now, not so great.
I'm with you
The
there.
book
I agree entirely.
is complete and utter dog shit,
Yep.
and it stole a little piece of my soul. And whoever that was that taught that class, I just hate him a little bit every day.
So for context, we took a class, film in cinema. Or no, literature in cinema, right? Some bullshit like that. So we took this class where we had to read a book and then watch the movie and then compare them. And I'm the only one in the room who's getting a film degree. And
Yeah.
You're there because you like writing and movies.
Yep.
And you're also not getting an English degree.
Nope.
You got a degree in psychology.
Yep. I had a minor in shit. My minor was screenwriting.
Yeah.
My minor was screenwriting, but my major was psychology.
Yeah. And everyone else in the room is English majors.
They were.
So we do not agree with anyone on any topic all semester.
Kind of judgy fucks, but it's fine. I'm not bitter, so it's cool.
Fucking A. And then I realized on like fucking week 2 we were going to get along because you just like tore someone apart about their shitty opinion.
Yeah.
And you were sitting behind me.
I
And I was like, oh, I need to go sit with this guy next week.
Okay, so the problem is that for those of you listening at home, I used to be a Marine. And sometimes Marines have issues with their inside thoughts becoming outside thoughts. And civilians do not know how to take a Marine's inside thoughts because we can be unpleasant.
That's an understatement.
I was trying to word it as civilly as possible. We're kind of fucking... We can be assholes. We used to play a game called Make That Dude Cry when we were in the Marine Corps. And I was pretty good at it.
I believe that very much so. I could imagine you made several people cry over your lifetime. Jesus Christ.
Once
what
or
an
twice.
Introduction to the podcast.
Yeah, it's not great.
To
Starting
give
off
everyone context on what we're doing here. So we're doing a couple podcasts today. We're doing this one, the Millennial in Arizona podcast. I wanted to do a podcast for a while now. I listen to them all the time, and I got a film degree, so I'm pretty familiar with audio and cameras. And I kind of just got to the point where I wasn't doing much creative, and I needed something to do creative. So this is it. And I chose Millennial because it's, I guess, the most relatable thing for people to, kind of relate to me immediately. I'm 26. I live in Arizona, struggling with student loan debt and fucking figuring life out.
Yeah, student loan debt's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horse shit.
Yeah, they want me to pay it every month, and that's where my problem comes in. I have issues with the every month thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
It's the biggest nightmare. I think the majority of our generation is facing this kind of crisis of dealing with debt, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen in the future with it. I don't know many people who went to college who aren't struggling afterwards to pay their bills and to actually like figure out what they're doing career-wise. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's like
Right.
so many people got degrees and no job experience. Or
Well, it's like, so my wife is obviously smarter than both of us. She got her BSN, so she went directly into nursing. So that was very intelligent because she chose but I got psychology, which you can't do anything with a bachelor's in psychology except for I say that I have a bachelor's in psychology, which, as you can tell, didn't really have any impact when you heard it right there. So, yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
I know it's a big struggle.
It's pretty great.
And we're also going to be doing another podcast today, the Millennial and Marine podcast, which will be this one. I hope to have other guests on. I've talked to some people who are interested in coming on, so please, everyone, come down and let's do one. And then the other podcast will just be always me and John. We're going to kind of have more fun with that one and try some things out. We're going to read some stories that we've written. We're going to tell some stories.
Sure.
And just kind of create some different things that'll be different than kind of just sitting here and interviewing someone about themselves. We're going to read some of our screenplays, short stories, maybe John's book eventually.
Right. Yeah, I wrote a novel. He has it. It's called MiAZ. It's a horror version of The Wizard of Oz. So, that's pretty fucked up.
It's pretty special, man.
So I don't know if I ever told you where that came from. Should I tell you now, or should I wait for the other one?
Yeah.
I think this whole thing started from one thing. So my mom watched this episode of The Twilight Zone where this old lady is getting picked on by these like tiny little like aliens or whatever, and it's like they're just like being super mean, burning her and stuff, and doing all kinds of messed up stuff. And then at the end of the episode,
that's good. Put that right up to your face.
Yeah, yeah, it's delicious. So then, so they go outside to leave, these little guys, and they get in a spaceship, and it says USA on the side. That we were the little guys, and that giant old lady was the alien.
Oh shit!
And my mom was like, she said she'd never seen something that altered her perspective so quickly, so vastly, and so that's kind of what I wanted to do with MiAZ. So
it altered her opinion on what, the concept of aliens, or
no, just the whole time she's rooting for this old lady, and she doesn't understand why these guys are being so mean and all this other stuff. And she's like, these aliens are the worst. They're so mean. They're horrible. Why are they picking on this old lady? And then she finds out that was us.
Okay, so kind of like the rooting for the enemy.
Yeah,
we are the enemy type of shit.
Exactly,
yeah.
But you don't know who the enemy is, kind of thing, until the end.
They've kind of been doing that in Black Mirror a little bit.
I'm not caught up on Black Mirror.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah,
you gotta catch up.
I will have more time soon.
Black Mirror is the shit for anyone listening.
So,
if you haven't seen it, watch Black Mirror. It'll blow your fucking mind. If you smoke weed and then watch Black Mirror and have some special experiences with that, because that's pretty special.
And just as a side note, if you're not a fucking lazy stoner, you can also enjoy Black Mirror.
Hey.
The episodes I've seen have been fantastic.
Just because I'm a stoner doesn't mean I'm lazy. Jesus. Fucking A. I get a lot done. Look at this podcast. Fucking A.
What'd you do this first podcast?
I know, but working on it.
Yeah, we'll wait the longevity.
This was months of work, man. This was a lot of shit.
No, in all fairness, you did a lot of work to make this happen.
I'm pretty happy about it.
Right, yeah.
I'm pretty stoked.
No, you should actually be pretty proud of this. I can't say that and not have it sound sarcastic, but that's a real statement.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's talk about more about your book, though.
Oh, my book?
Fucking MiAZ.
So basically what it is my Tin Man's a serial killer, Scarecrow's a priest, the Lion is a lawyer, Apparently, I can't say lawyer and not have it sound like liar.
You're like the little kid on Liar Liar.
And Gale is my version of Dorothy. And I kill them all. And it takes place in Purgatory. And in Purgatory, the only one that can let her go back to the living is Death. But they're being hunted by this dark angel that they think is the devil.
Right. And it is the most fucked up take on The Wizard of Oz I think anyone will ever experience.
Oh, let's hope so.
That's like the thing about it, man. Like this story is so fucking out there that
I don't know if most of my stories are out there a little bit.
It's just like I can't explain it to people. It's if you want to read a good horror story that is purely based on a fucked up version of another story,
right? Like if you
it's on Amazon.
Now I will say this. Okay, so part of me also wrote this because The Wizard of Oz was my mom's favorite movie of all time, and I just kind of wanted to ruin that. So, point is, if Wizard of Oz is your favorite movie of all time, don't get the book. It will ruin it.
I hope that's the case. If it fucking does ruin it for you, let us know.
Oh yeah, like contact us back. Is that a thing that people do to people?
Oh yeah, on the website, or hit me up on Twitter at MiAZ Podcast.
You created a Twitter just for this?
No, I just changed my Twitter to it. You just change your fucking at whatever the fuck it's called. At MiAZ.
Those of you that are just
podcast.
listening to this and not actually watching on YouTube cannot tell how blatantly I'm judging Jeremy.
Oh my god, it's fine. I understand. So that's the big take on our podcast. Also, is I'm very much ingrained in technology and social media and staying up on the news. And John is not.
No, I don't really care.
He's not. Even though I will always say John's a millennial.
Nope.
He's 30. How old are you? 35?
36.
He's 36. He's on the beginning end of where millennials begin.
Okay, no. Okay, sure. Okay, I will give you beginning end, but here's the thing. Okay, so, all right, so generationalism. I don't know if that's a fucking word. Generationism. I don't know. Whatever. It's not a fucking science. Okay. Some say there's like 30 years to a generation. Some say there's 20 years to a generation. Point is, from 77 to 85, there's a subgenre, a subsect of generation that's called a zennial, because I'm part Generation X and part millennial. I don't really fit with either one of you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not all happy-go-lucky like those fuckers in the 70s or whatever. I don't know if they were happy-go-lucky, whatever. But I'm also, I don't eat fucking Tide Pods. I'm not one of the snowflakes or whatever.
Oh man,
but,
snowflakes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what snowflake means anymore.
I think that it's like the new way of saying like pansy.
Yeah.
Without like the gay connotations.
It's like we turn.
I don't know if that's
It's like we're turning words into other words and no one knows what any of them mean anymore. Like,
right.
I see liberals calling people snowflakes now, and I thought originally it was like a conservatives calling liberals snowflakes, but now like liberals call conservatives snowflakes, and it's like everyone just calls everyone snowflakes now.
I think snowflake just means that you're offended by fucking air. So yeah,
that's a big thing too. I'm really over people being offended by everything on the internet and everything. It's just like I was watching a video on ESPN today, on my phone, I mean, and
right.
Adam Schefter or whatever the fuck his name is,
sure,
is talking about how the Indians are getting rid of the Chief logo at the baseball team.
Oh, okay.
To be more politically correct, which I get. I totally get it. I totally get that. It's super offensive to have like a chief if an American Indian didn't approve it or whatever.
They're called Native Americans.
Okay, Jesus. What did I call them?
I don't care. American Indians.
Oh, Jesus. Native Americans.
There you go.
See, now I'm fucking culturally appropriating or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
way to
so
go.
sorry.
There you go. I don't care when.
Anyways, but he was saying how he said if anyone is ever offended by a team's mascot, they should always change the team's mascot. And I just don't know if I agree with that because, like, couldn't you just say that about any mascot? Like, oh, the dolphin shouldn't be a mascot because it's really offensive to, you know.
No, because dolphins get stuck in nets and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, don't fucking advocate dolphins. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, where do you draw that line? Is it like a group of people that like it's offensive to, so you just can't, or is it just it's anything?
Well, yeah, I don't think it's like one dude in North Dakota was like, I don't like that Chiefs logo. I don't know why North Dakota sounds like they're a hillbilly, but the point is, I don't think it was one dude that was like, hey, you gotta change this up. It's offensive. It's probably the whole group of people.
I think we can all agree on the American Indian one, right? It's just it's the other. I said it wrong again. Native American. American Indian. Is that what I said again? Oh, this is so offensive for everyone to listen to.
I don't know if it's offensive if you don't.
Mean it in an offensive way?
Yeah, no, it's probably still offensive. So
I said American Indian.
I don't know the rules.
But is that not like an accurate description, though?
No,
Isn't Native American more...
No, Native American is because they were here first and we stole this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are Indians in the Americas.
Right. I mean, that's
South
not...
America, North America.
I'm not saying
I don't
that,
mean like United States Americans.
See, this is... Okay, this right here. This is my problem with fucking millennials.
It's difficult to navigate.
Hold on. So here's the... So, okay. My problem is that yours isn't wrong.
Straighten that out.
Okay, yours isn't wrong. Okay? It's just not as right as the other one. That's the thing. Like, saying American Indian, probably not wrong. It's just Native American is the more right way to say it. There shouldn't be a more right way. There's just, like, I mean, like, everything's fucking gray area anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, it's hard to navigate these waters, man.
I didn't think I'd get so irritated by this podcast.
Oh, Jesus. You get irritated by everything. It'll be okay. I just don't understand. How are you supposed to, like, so here's a good example, right? So, like, colleges are getting rid of the word freshman.
Why?
Oh, you weren't aware of this?
No.
They're changing to first-year student to be gender neutral.
Okay. But you're still sophomores, juniors, and seniors?
Yeah, because that doesn't have the word man in the word.
Right, but shouldn't junior then be offensive because it's belittling you and making you feel like you're subservient?
Well, that's kind of what we're getting at here, right?
Oh, okay,
where does it...
Yeah,
where do you draw that line?
That's the problem. Okay, so I don't know. See, the problem is that it's like if you start going down a path, like at what point do you say, fuck it, this road's too long?
Exactly.
I mean, I know I say that pretty quickly, but odds are my fucking lazy ass didn't walk down the path in the beginning. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, so getting rid of freshmen, I could care less. I mean, you are a first-year student. I mean, that's fine.
Like, the word first year makes sense, but I guess for me as, like, a very analytical person, I would just kind of wonder, like, are there statistics or, like, numbers on, like, how many people were offended by the word freshman? You know what I mean? Like, what caused that change to happen? Because here's another big thing that, like, I talk to people about often is, like, the people making these changes aren't the people also complaining about it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You also got to wonder, like...
Because, like, millennials might complain about it, but then Generation X are the ones who are getting rid of the word freshman, right?
Right.
Because they're the ones who are in leadership at these places currently.
Right.
So, like, where did it start? And are there people in Gen X that are getting fucking offended by the word freshman? And it's not just they're like blaming the millennials.
It could be, but this is how I picture it. I picture it as the Gen X people are irritated that the millennials get offended by everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so
I'm
I feel like
by that too.
I feel like them changing freshman is like a preemptive strike
Yeah.
at changing something before people are like, well, why do I have to be a freshman? Why can't I be a fresh woman? I'm like, because that sounds dumb.
Fresh woman does sound kind of weird.
That's what. Well, and that's exactly like if you don't like freshmen, that's why I think first year students fine. Like because there are certain words that if you change the terminology, it just sounds dumb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now it could sound dumb because I'm so used to hearing policeman. But I always said police officer anyway. So
I feel like most people did.
Right, they're firefighters. You're still a firefighter. Don't matter what you are. Police officer. That's what I always said.
Yeah.
And I was never like I always said, sorry, I just did that shit, officer. Not sorry, I just did that shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I've never been arrested though. Let's just clarify that. I did learn math in prison, but I've never been arrested.
Oh my God, stop it. But it's kind of just like, it's one of those weird things that I worry about where it's going to end.
It's not good. It's not good.
Like, are we going to live in a gray blob world here soon? Like, are we just going to...
Yes.
Can I not say good morning, sir, to anyone ever again? Because I can't offend someone?
I don't know who says good morning, sir, to anyone.
Oh, I've never said that in my life.
All right.
It's just a horrible fucking example.
I'll say morning or morning, sir. But I have never added good. You know why I don't add the good?
Why? Because it's never good?
No, because I don't know how your fucking morning has been.
That's fair.
Like you could have had the shittiest morning in the world. When I say good morning, you're like, man, fuck you. Like I don't know. It just seems like I'm forcing it on you, and that's not my judgment to make.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I go with morning. Because that's just a fucking statement of fact. It's morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Jesus. No, I'm with you. But this is very much, I'd like to get people's take on millennial shit in the media these days. Because, for one, I feel very judged by it often.
Oh,
because
you should.
like, I've read numerous articles lately about how millennials are eating Tide Pods. And in everyone's defense, millennials might be eating them. There might be a handful of them out there.
Right.
But for the most part, it's teenagers that were all born after 2000 and they're not millennials. So I feel like there's this weird stigma on using the word millennials in the news to, like, belittle the next generation coming up.
Yeah, I feel like it's like so the problem is that they took the word retard away from us.
Wow.
Well, I mean they did. I mean it's fine.
They did.
I totally get why we're not supposed to say retard. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's they just substituted millennial for retard. So there's so all those things that you're like millennials are eating Tide Pods. That's fucktards are eating Tide Pods. Retards are eating Tide Pods. So
that's fair.
So I don't think that they actually think it's millennials or that they're even looking at that. It's just that every generation fucking hates the generation that came after them.
I find that very accurate, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all it is Gen X is just fucking hating on millennials. And so they're just like, they're like, this is the most polite way that we can call y'all fucktards is just to use it millennial in everything that's stupid that comes up.
That is very accurate, I feel
and then and y'all did that fucking bucket challenge.
Oh my god, the ALS shit?
Yeah. Okay, for a good cause, sure. I get that. But the problem is that because you did that and then they had that one finger selfie fucking shit and then there was
one finger selfie thing.
You know what I'm talking the naked.
I do know what you're talking about.
Okay,
yeah,
so then they had
a nude
that
photo with one finger.
One
to
finger.
cover yourself. Yeah.
Which is asinine.
See, but there's,
so the
there's
thing
weird
is
stuff that comes up like that's like made famous by like Kardashians. I feel like.
Okay, well I don't know about that. I'm just saying that because y'all had these other challenges.
Okay.
They just assumed that the Tide Pod challenge is yours too because there weren't asinine public challenges with my generation because I didn't grow up with fucking video cameras everywhere.
Media, yeah.
I didn't grow up with the cameras and shit all over the place. Like all the dumb shit I did There's only one video of the dumb shit I did, and I'm pretty sure that shit's in Alaska right now.
Wow.
But we won't talk about that.
Another podcast for that one.
Nah.
All right.
It's cool.
No, and yeah, I agree with that. I wonder, like, is that affecting social norms too much? Like, do we need to limit people's phone usage? Like, do we need to limit the amount of videos people watch or make? Or, like, I don't know, like, is growing up with social media, like, obviously the Tide Pod thing is only because of social media, right? It wouldn't have happened 20 years ago because kids in whatever state couldn't have told kids in another fucking state that they're eating Tide Pods, and then it becomes like this big internet thing because the internet didn't exist, right?
Right.
So it's just it's like are we?
No, it's like you hear the dumb shit Jimmy did last weekend. That's as far as that fucking story went.
Exactly.
So
but it's like, are we evolving with technology and at the same time devolving?
I have so many questions
as a society.
Yeah, I'd say we're de-evolving. But I have so many questions about that Tide Pod thing.
I don't have any questions. I
think I might be literally made of questions about this. Like why Tide Pods? Like, my dishwasher tab has 3 colors, and it looks much more appetizing than the Tide Pod does. So why the fuck didn't you go with the dishwasher?
Oh, I agree that there's a lot of other household items that I would rather eat.
Like those Downy balls, those unstoppable things.
Yeah.
Are those like Dippin' Dots now? Did they just like dig in and they're like, no, it'll dissolve on your tongue? Like, who the fuck? Who looked at the Tide Pod and said, you know what? I'm gonna videotape myself eating that shit.
I'm not really
Did you see
sure.
the asshole that smoked one?
I actually watched someone dab one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just, like, all I can think is that this is Darwinism. This is like, they're just getting rid of, it's natural selection.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting rid of the ones that shouldn't fucking procreate in the future anyway.
As we should, I guess. But
it's just so dumb.
I mean, and
it's just so fucking, it hurts. It hurts me because it's the dumbest shit I've heard of in like a long time.
About it. It's so fucking stupid.
Well, because
it's so stupid.
No,
I just can't.
I just want to know what thought process led to it. Like, was it like, I get you want to be famous, okay? I get that.
No,
I get that.
Not even enough.
But that's the thing. Like,
you're gonna kill yourself for a Tide Pod?
I
did a lot of stupid things as a teenager. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I did
grew
too.
up in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, spring break capital of Arizona. If you ask fucking anyone, I'm pretty sure. And I did a lot of stupid things. Never even in the neighborhood of eating detergent or smoking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like we did stupid stuff like having big fires in the desert or like drinking too much or...
I once stood on 2 skateboards and held onto a rope that was smashed into the trunk of a car because
Okay,
I was
yeah.
drunk enough to think that was the same as water skiing.
That's fair.
And I still wouldn't eat a fucking Tide Pod.
Exactly.
I have been set on fire by fucking choice. By choice. And I would just... Fucking Tide Pods.
John gets a little angry.
Well, because it's just... Okay, do you know why? You know why? Because it's just so dumb. See, the problem is I need reason. I need logic behind choices.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm with you there.
Even to understand them. Even if I don't agree with your logic or I don't agree... Like, as long as I can figure out the reason that you did it, I'm totally fine with it. I don't care because it was your choice. I just can't figure out this one. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, point is, fucking jack-off's eating Tide Pods.
Man, we feel the same way.
I know.
I get so annoyed when I see it online and I see these kids doing the stupidest shit in the world. And all it says is, oh, look at these millennials killing themselves. And I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, no, those are teenagers. Like, don't associate them with me.
So
like,
what are
the,
they if they're not millennials?
They're Gen Z.
So who the fuck is the next one if we're out of alphabet?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if we're out of alphabet. Okay. I don't know where it started either. Maybe we'll just go to A. I'm not sure. We'd have to ask someone more official. But I mean, we were Generation Y, the millennials, but then they just started calling us millennials, I guess.
Right. Because millennial is their derogatory term for your generation.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They needed it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like, millennial is just a way to sum all of you into the same stupid category.
Yeah. So going back to what you said about, like, using the word retard.
Yeah.
Tom Segura just the comedian just did a Netflix special.
Okay.
And he talks about how we can't say retard anymore.
Well, yeah.
And he gives, like, 3 examples of situations, like, where it's funny. And he's like,
right.
yeah, that used to just be, like, when you have a stupid friend and they say something retarded, and you're like, yeah, that's retarded. And that's all it was. It was never like, hey, man, you have an extra chromosome.
Right. Yeah.
Those are his words, not mine.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, and that's the thing is, like, that's why I use fucktard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's getting the same point across, but since I've combined the two to make my own word, I feel like hopefully it's not offensive to the people that are offended by that stuff. I don't know.
I think you're the one who brought this up to me one time, is like people just pick and choose. You know, like
what
words.
To be offended by?
Like the word gypsy.
Oh yeah, like
is very offensive to like travelers who are actually what you would call a gypsy.
Right. What is there?
And people say, like, you know, you got gyps.
Romanek? Oh, I can't remember. Now I feel like an asshole.
I don't want to Google it. I don't know.
Anyway, I could Google it. I have a computer, but I think our whole conversation is how we need to not use that. So anyway, but the point is that and so when you said you got gypped, that was gypped. Like derogatory way of saying that you got because they used to say that gypsies were always the kind of people that would, like, you know,
take advantage of you,
and so gypped was like the way of saying that you got Jewed out of your money. So
oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
You can't say that either.
Yeah, but all of them make sense. I mean, most of them make sense, but that's the thing is people do pick and choose what to be offended by. But it makes it to the point that makes sense because not everything is going to be offensive to everyone.
Oh, totally.
Except for you millennials, but whatever. So
hey, man, don't lump me in with these kids. That's another thing for me too. It's just like people are like, oh, are you okay? Are you triggered, bro? Are you okay? And it's like, dude, like, why do you think, like, every 25-year-old has, like, needs a safe space and, like has, like, an emotional bubble that they're constantly, like, trapped in? So I just don't, like, I don't get the logic behind, like, stereotyping. And another great saying you have is stereotypes exist so I can walk into a room with an educated guess.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
Yeah, right? I said that. Yeah.
And I find that incredibly accurate.
Right. And well, what's funny is I never, because I don't ever.
But it's still, stereotypes still bother me.
Well, that's because most of them have an extremely negative connotation behind them. Stereotypes. And that's the thing though, is like, if you look at them like I do with the educated guess thing, I don't look at all of them like that. I mean, because some of them I know were created to be offensive, you know, some of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know how we ended up talking about this, but real quick. So I don't know. Every now and then,
a mess. It derailed immediately.
Well, yeah. Well, every now and then, people get offended by stuff, and I'm very confused. Okay, and so have you? I know you haven't, but we'll ask it anyway. Have you seen the movie Undercover Brother?
I vaguely know the movie you're talking about, but I don't know.
Okay.
Is it a like a Murphy movie?
No. It's Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, not Eddie Murphy.
No, Eddie Griffin, and more importantly, Dave Chappelle is in it, and he loses his shit like every 5 seconds over a word that Eddie Griffin uses that he doesn't know he's not supposed to use. And at one point, he stops him and he was like, "Hey, can I get a list of these fucking trigger words that keep setting you off before you, so that you don't keep doing this shit?" And like, that's how I feel. Like, more often than not is, hey, can I get a list of these trigger words that I ain't supposed to say because y'all keep getting offended and all I'm trying to do is have a normal conversation.
That's how I feel. Almost like what is that solution to like this in the extreme future, like 20 years from now? What is the solution? And maybe someone who gets super offended by something could tell me, but is it that we need to have a digital display on everyone's chest that says you can approach me in this way and that you can't use these words in front of me?
Oh, that would be awesome.
And then we need like digital boards around like every room that just say like the warning words and like you're not allowed to say them. Like I just don't like. Do you know what I mean? Like what does a ideological safe space look like? You know what I mean?
That's fair.
In the future.
Like seriously though, the list would be amazing. Like if I walked up to somebody and I was like, "Hi," and they just held out their arm like this, and like written on the arm, like a fucking QB's plays or all the goddamn words I can't say.
Yeah, it's a playbook.
It'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's like, hey, and then it's like it like tracks, like it ticks. You say it, and it's like they're almost at 100 for the day, man. They're gonna hit their boiling point.
It sounds awful, and I always blamed it on being a Marine. But
oh man, that could be a Black Mirror episode. Black Mirror, if you're out there, social triggers on the arm, let us know.
You're dumbass. So I always thought that this was part like being a Marine because they broke me in a lot of ways. But I spend most of my fucking day trying to figure out what not to say. Like there's my first thought. And then we just scratch that one out fucking entirely. And then there's the next thing I have to say. And I can usually work that one around to where it's almost a fucking thought that won't hurt people. And then I just kind of filter it through. But I have to have my thoughts go through like fucking 15 mental filters before they get out. Even this podcast. We're supposed to be like, you were like, just say what you're thinking. Even this, I've filtered a lot of shit to even say this fucking nonsense. And I'm pretty sure you're still going to get hate mail on this one if anybody actually fucking watches it or listens to it.
Honestly, if this podcast got to the point where so many people listen to it that I did offend people and that they did send me hate mail, I'd feel success. You know what I mean?
Well, as long as they have your address, not mine, I don't care.
Oh man, I don't want to give out my address. Just hit me up on Twitter, everybody.
Oh, there you go. Just hate Jeremy on Twitter.
No, please don't hate me. I'm not doing this podcast to offend people. I genuinely want to have real conversations with people, and I feel like that's what we're doing. It's like in me as a white male, straight in Arizona, I don't understand a lot of these social problems that are going on. Genuinely, like I don't. Like they don't affect me. Like the whole gender neutrality, like not using the word freshman, like it doesn't affect me that much. And I'm totally like, if that helps a lot of people out in the world, great. Let's not use the word freshman anymore. But I would like to know why, and I would like to know people's actual thoughts that like actually care about it. And like if someone could sit down and explain to me why the word freshman is super offensive to them, I would genuinely listen to them and try to understand. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I know. We're in the same white folk boat, and so I don't. There's a lot of things like I get it, but I don't understand it. Does that make sense? Like I can't feel the same pain as other people because I'm not affected by the same things they are.
Yeah.
But I get it because I'm like, wow, that is super fucking offensive. We probably should stop that. But like then there's stuff like, the freshman thing that like I've never I guess okay, so here's why I'm confused by freshmen. I can honestly say I've never heard the term freshman and thought that's a dude.
Yes.
Like
I've never associated someone's gender with the word.
No, not even a little bit. And so freshman for me just means that you're green, you're young, it's your first year, you're probably going to get pushed down a fucking flight of stairs. Like, shit like that.
Yeah.
But I never once thought that I was like, well, you can't be a freshman, you're a girl. Like, no, it's just an age group,
Absolutely.
So, But again, I'm with you. Like, if it's offensive, sure. If enough people are like truly offended by something, then yes, you should change it. Yeah. But at the same time, I need to know that your offense has validity It isn't just something you felt like bitching about today.
It wasn't like, I'm going to make the world about me today.
Yes.
I want everyone to care that I'm offended.
Right.
Yeah.
But instead, you're genuinely offended by it, and you have reasons to be. Like, there's something in your history, something in your past that somebody was like, you can't be a freshman. You're a girl.
Exactly.
Words, man. Like, you know how many fucking jokes there were about, like, fucking when Obama first got voted in, they're like, it's the White House. I'm like, you're a fucking cocksucker.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Just don't be
a lot of that.
Just don't be a
Straighten
racist
that.
piece of shit for like 5 seconds.
Don't
like,
talk into the side of it. Straighten it out. There you go.
Whatever. Shut up.
It just sounds super blown out when you do that.
Blown out.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Whatever. Don't be using your fucking fancy terms.
All right.
Anyway.
Jesus.
So point is, my point is like, if you have a reason to be offended by it, then be offended. But make sure it has validity, and that it's not like, hey, I just really need somebody to look in my direction today. Like,
exactly.
Oh, and this is a side note for your next one, but can we get rid of participation trophies? Like, seriously? Like,
oh, Jesus.
Like, the sense of entitlement is nauseating.
I'm not a fan of that.
I just can't.
Pull that straight up to your face.
I swear to God.
Dude.
What the fuck?
I know. Sorry, everyone. The audio, we're working on it. You just got to talk right into it. You get all quiet.
Okay, well, that's because I was mumbling on purpose.
Stop mumbling.
No, I always mumble.
We're in agreement. Participation trophies are an issue.
Yes.
But I will say I got them as a child.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, I think, okay, for everyone who's upset about participation trophies and, like, they're ruining kids, they have been a thing for fucking decades. And I know that for a fact because my brother is your age and his shelf also had a shitload of participation trophies. Everyone who did sports got a trophy at the end of the year. Regardless of if you played on the team, if you played minutes during games, it didn't matter. You got a trophy. We had award ceremonies.
Let's just clarify. Before I gave up in high school, because I did, but before I gave up in high school, fuck high school.
I agree. I dropped out.
Well, no, I didn't drop. I went all the years. Fuck. Anyway. It's a whole different podcast, buddy. Fuck high school is this whole on podcast.
We could do a whole fuck high school podcast.
Anyway, point is, and then we could bring in my wife to talk about why high school was the greatest fucking thing known to man because she was awesome.
Anyway. I hate high school.
Not the point. Point is that I lost my fucking train of thought with that goddamn high school bullshit. The hell were we talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, that seemed like such a long time ago.
Don't ask me, man.
All right.
No, we were talking about participation trophies.
Oh, okay. So before I gave up in high school, I played fucking sports. I never got a goddamn participation trophy. I didn't get one when I was in Little League. I didn't get one when I was in high school. I didn't get one when I played football or when I swam because fat floats. I don't know if you know that. So I was on the swim team.
Maybe it's different regionally, and I mean different whatever areas do different shit, but yeah, I mean everyone got participation trophies in Lake Havasu. That's
this
sure.
Might be maybe this is an East Coast versus West Coast.
Where
thing
I was
too.
going with that is I'm just saying they're an issue.
Mm-hmm. They are,
but they haven't always been an issue. I don't feel like everyone who got participation trophies 30 years ago is as fucked up as they are today. Like I think it's kind of like a double thing with social media and the way these kids are growing up. It's like everyone always has to have attention and be praised.
Well, and then they like the parent like
gratification.
The parent like posts a picture of the participation trophy, and you got 40 people that are like, "Oh my God, you did so great!" No, you just showed the fuck up.
Well, and they never played in a game or, yeah.
It's like Gronk. Gronk shouldn't have got a ring last year. What did he fucking do?
I mean,
what did he do?
I mean, backups always get rings. Backups get rings.
That's just
Jimmy Garoppolo has one. He's in the Niners now. I mean, what can you do? You know.
Anyway, let's argue about something.
Oh Jesus! Participation trophies is a sore subject. That's for sure. I think we could get into a lot of this shit.
I think that it's an East Coast versus West Coast thing.
I think that's interesting too because you grew up
I grew up
in Pittsburgh.
Well, I grew up in Uniontown. I say Pittsburgh because I don't feel like fucking explaining where the fuck Uniontown is.
That's fair.
So I usually say Pittsburgh to shorten things, but I grew up mostly in Uniontown and Irwin and, well, like 40 other places too because we moved around a lot.
Okay.
People are, I don't want to say meaner because it's not the right word. They are more blunt, more direct and to the point on the East Coast, and everyone over here wants to dance around what they really have to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I'm hoping that's not too fucking offensive. I don't mean it as a bad way in either direction because I think that I've been it's that word where I've been acclimatized to the dancing around shit that's over here, so it doesn't bother me. But when I first came to Arizona from Pennsylvania, the transition was very different. Not just because it's 5,000 degrees in this shithole, but because the people are oddly just so different from coast to coast. Like, it's fascinating. So...
Yeah, I've never been farther east than Wisconsin. Ever in my entire life. And I went to Wisconsin for 5 days when I was 17 to visit my friend Andrew up there. And ever since, I haven't been further west than
I've lived in
fucking Arizona, man.
Most of the West states.
Or further east,
like
Jesus.
Pennsylvania, West Virginia,
you even
Maryland.
Just said you lived in all the West states.
Yeah,
the East
states, yeah. But Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, like...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so in a bubble.
Oh.
Because I haven't really been to a lot of places, and I...
Have you left the country? Other than Mexico. Mexico doesn't count.
No, I've just gone to Mexico.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
And I mean, growing up in Arizona, I still haven't even been to Mexico that much. I went once.
Yeah, I'm good.
I wasn't one of those people who's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a day trip down to Mexico, and like, you know, my family didn't like vacation there and stuff, so
right.
Like I went there on a cruise, like the most tourist thing you could possibly do.
You know, I went there on a cruise. I can't even remember where we landed, but it was weird.
Yeah,
I was good. But anyway, yeah. But I was just curious. I didn't know if you ever left the country. I don't think we ever had that conversation.
I haven't.
Or if we did, it was a long time.
You went to culinary school in Europe, though. Which I think is fascinating.
I went to culinary school, but not in Europe. And you got to quit saying that shit.
Oh, that's right.
I went to culinary school in Scottsdale. I lived in Japan.
It wasn't Europe.
Because I pissed somebody off and more or less kicked me out of the country. But I lived in Japan.
Yeah, so for context, I don't know what happened in our friendship over the years, but I, for a long time, thought John went to culinary school in Europe. And I imagine it's because he told me he went to culinary school, and I was probably stoned at the time. And I just mixed stories in my head and saved them there forever. And I think it just kind of went into my brain as John went to culinary school in Europe, and then I just started telling people that.
And the funny thing is he never said it out loud to me. So he applied. We were entering a writing competition for one of our screenplays, and they asked a little bit about the authors, and he wrote that I had gone to culinary school in Europe, and I was like, the fuck are you lying in this application for? I was like, it doesn't really matter. And he's like, when did I fucking lie? I'm like, I ain't going to fucking culinary school in Europe. He's like, you said you went to culinary school in Europe. I was like, I went to culinary school. I've never been to fucking Europe. Where the fuck did you get that? He's like, that might have been real high.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I think a lot of my memories might be a little conflated due to marijuana, but that's okay.
Conflated.
Is that the wrong word?
That's not a word, so yeah.
Conflated?
Conflicted?
No, that's not it. Fucking A. See, this is what happens.
Yeah, conflated, not a
Ooh,
not a word.
No, they're different. That's for sure.
Well,
Anyways, this is embarrassing. Let's move on.
Conflicted's a word and conflated isn't.
Conflicted? No, off. Just off. I think they're a little off. They're just a little, and you know that's like a thing they're doing, or they're not doing in courts anymore, or they're like getting rid of, is like old like testimonies from people who like have foggy memories. Like it's like they take hard evidence more than like people's actual memories of events now, because like it's been proven like people get things wrong more often than not. Like, they don't remember events the same. Like, you have 5 witnesses, and they all remember it entirely different.
Yeah, because stress and shock are fucking up things. So.
Well, like, they've just been analyzing it and figuring out over time, like, it's really hard to say, like, for sure that happened just because someone fucking remembers it that way.
No, it's true.
I think that's fascinating.
I'm pretty sure all of my memories are askew.
Yeah.
I mean... There's some that I remember, like my wedding day. That one's not askew.
That's fair.
I know that one's not. But then there's other things like from the Marine Corps. I know that's askew, but I was a fucking alcoholic, and obviously those memories are going to be a bit off.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are we going with this podcast?
Oh, I don't fucking know, man. It's a train wreck. I enjoy it, though. I think people enjoy this random bullshit.
It's funny. Maybe. It's funny you say that. So I had a test. I think it was an ASL test.
Yeah.
And I'm writing the
age,
answer.
sex, location test.
Yes. Not American Sign Language.
Do you remember
clearly that
back when ASL meant that?
No.
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 It was like an IM thing back in like the Yahoo Messenger days. People would say ASL. Be like age, sex, location. Sorry for interrupting. Go on, man.
Okay. So anyway. Yeah, the age, sex, location test. And I'm writing this stuff down, and I wrote down an answer, and I realized it was wrong, so I scratched it out, and I wrote it again. No, I realized that was wrong, too, so I scratched it out. I did this like 5 times before I got the final answer, so I actually wrote on the test, "This is my train of thought. Welcome aboard."
Oh, my God. That's so special. Oh, man, maybe we should have just made the podcast train of thought. No, I think Millennial in Arizona is pretty good for this one.
No, yeah, you're fine. And then it
sums it up well.
The MiAZ.
Yeah, so I just thought that was a clever way you could just say it, MiAZ podcast.
Right, but it's MiAZ M-I.
Yeah, but that's and like, you know, some weird other cultures probably or something.
God,
stop. I'm fucking up with the cultural appropriation thing.
Yeah, like
M-I, my. Isn't that like my in Spanish or something?
Sure.
Me.
Sure.
Mamma mia, I don't know.
Just stop.
It's horrible.
You're the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, train of thought is more or less what I expected these things to kind of be. Like, because you start talking about one thing. Like, you had said you had mentioned wanting to talk about the Tide Pod thing. But, like, the rest of this has just been the fact that once you start on a subject, then you start talking about the other nonsense that attaches to that. So, I mean, I assumed these were going to be trains of thought. And so I don't see why. That's like, you ever watch Kevin Smith do stand up, like the Threevening with Kevin Smith or the Evening with Kevin Smith?
Oh, Kevin Smith? Oh yeah.
So that dude will take like 45 minutes to answer a question because he started to answer the question and then went off on this fucking tangent and didn't come back for like forever.
That's fair.
And so like that's kind of how I expected these to be. Like I love his he has this podcast and shit. Those things are awesome.
Oh, I love Kevin Smith.
He's amazing.
He's been directing Flash and Supergirl.
Yeah.
More. And
yeah, I stopped watching those.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Man, I stopped watching The Walking Dead.
Oh, I stopped watching The Walking Dead.
Oh, I know you did, but they spoiler alert, they kill Carl. And
yeah, but he's not dead yet.
Oh,
right?
Is he not?
No.
I just saw online they're killing him off.
Oh no, I think. Wow, you're just gonna talk about spoilers like hardcore. I mean, I don't care because I mean. What's funny is
this isn't new info. This is like all
right.
over the internet. So, I haven't even watched the show, and I know.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't mind if they killed Carl off, like, for the story. That's fine. But they killed Carl off because they were losing ratings, and everybody since like season 2 with the get back in the fucking house, Coral. Like everybody has wanted Carl fucking dead.
Yeah.
I like Carl. I never had a fucking problem with Carl.
I like Carl too.
I wanted Carl to get a goddamn haircut. But like from what I understood, he got bit, but they didn't actually show him die.
That's what I read.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know.
I read that he got bit. He wrote like a note or some kind of bullshit, fucking philosophical thing that some 17-year-old in the Walking Dead would have some special thoughts about life. Even though he disregarded everything his dad always told him. Anyway, and then I read that it was just like they show his grave.
Yeah.
And like they don't actually show him die. I don't know how true any of that is because I'm not going to watch that shit because that show has gone down the tube so hard.
Well, they had too many people and they kept having whole episodes about people that I could not even pretend to fucking care about.
Exactly.
And so I was like, I'm good. Like the last episode I watched was the one where Negan broke those dudes off with the bat. And I only watched that because Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fucking amazing.
He's the best.
Yeah. Like, that dude is the dad in Supernatural.
I'm really hoping he's going to be Batman in the Flash movie that's coming up.
That'd be pretty crazy because if
they're doing Flashpoint.
Are they doing Flashpoint?
Yeah.
Then he would have to be Batman because he was the one that played Bruce Wayne's father in that.
But they're also talking about getting rid of Batfleck. And I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't have a problem with it because if he doesn't want to be Batman, then don't be Batman.
That is true. Like, if you don't want to do the role, give it to someone who like actually wants to. But I feel like I don't know what happened, and obviously like we don't know fucking Ben Affleck, but like it was like he got cast as Batman, he went balls deep in it, and then he was gonna direct the new Batman movie, and then they canceled that shit.
Yep.
And then it just came out like, oh, he might not be Batman anymore, and I'm like, well, I thought it was going in the direction where Batfleck was Batman for like the next 10 years.
I think the main problem is that so many people are still hating on that motherfucker.
Like creative control and reviews.
I just don't think he can take it anymore. Like if you see like
it's got a drain on you.
His face in interviews is just he's just a broken man. And it's all he even said like his publicist was like, "Hey, stay off the internet like for a long time after we say that you're Batman." He's like,
really?
"Why?"
I remember that.
And they're like, "Stay off it." And he's like, he's like, naturally the next morning I looked, he's like, and the first comment I just see is no.
But he said that like motivated him to like do good as Batman for fans. And I thought he has. Like he's done.
I didn't think he was bad.
I think Christian Bale was awesome.
Hold on. Okay, so all right, so I don't think that Batfleck was bad, okay, at all. Mm-hmm. But I would like to point out that there is no difference between his Bruce Wayne and his autistic assassin.
Oh, no, we've talked about this for sure.
That's the same character.
What's that movie called? The Accountant.
The Accountant. Which, by the way, I really feel like that whole movie was a writing exercise. I feel like somebody pulled... They came out with the bag of Scrabble fucking tiles.
And they were like, write a movie where Batman is autistic.
No, they pulled out the Scrabble tile and he got A and he was like, what can I do with A? Oh, autistic, assassin, accountant. Like I feel like that movie was just a weird writing exercise. I don't feel like it was an actual movie.
But they did good with it. I thought The Accountant, if anyone hasn't seen it, it's pretty great. Ben Affleck plays an autistic accountant who his dad trains him to be like a hitman, basically.
All right, let's preface this with the movie was entertaining. It's not good.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a big difference. Like it's like Armageddon. I love Armageddon. Armageddon's 100% garbage.
You love Armageddon.
Oh, I fucking love Armageddon.
You love it.
I do.
We wrote it into the screenplay.
We wrote it into the screenplay. I love Armageddon. Armageddon is a piece of shit. It's a horrible fucking movie, but it's so goddamn entertaining that you keep watching it. My face is right the fuck in the middle of this thing. What the hell you want from me?
Jesus.
Unless I literally put my mouth on this, I can't get closer.
I want you to, yeah.
Right, cup the balls. I get it.
I'm just saying the issue is you're talking into the side of it.
I'm talking directly into it.
I know it's going to be a problem. We're working on it, people. We argue a lot, and that's why this, I think, is going to be entertaining.
I feel like I am just sometimes a recreational arguer.
Oh,
because I don't feel like I even give a shit about the stuff I argue about sometimes. I feel like I just want to argue a point.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, The Accountant was not a good movie.
That's fair.
It was entertaining, but it was not a good movie. So that's why I argued that.
That's
but most
fair.
of the time, there's a lot of times I feel like I'm just arguing because
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy arguing with people. I definitely have been trying to make it a point to argue with people less online because I've just realized more and more it's just always a losing battle. It's just, it's like 3-sentence comments and then it's like a fuck you
to figure that out.
Oh yeah, I'm growing, man. I'm getting older. I get it.
That's good because you write some trolly shit on things.
Oh, I do enjoy trolling people.
Yeah. I stopped doing. I actually never started doing it because I know that if I start trolling people, I won't stop. Because deep down inside, my black little heart, I want to be unpleasant. I think, and so I can't allow myself to go down that path because that path just leads to the dark side.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets deep sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta stay away from it. Sometimes I say trolly shit, and then people take me super serious.
Yeah.
And like people give me comments about it, like in real life, like later, like, hey, like you said that and it was super fucked up, and I was like, yeah, I was joking. It's just it was funny.
Yeah, I think the problem is that no one will ever be able to fully get context out of a comment that's written.
No, online, and I think that's a big issue. And I think I wonder how much of people getting offended online is just because they take things out of context.
Right. Well,
like
that's
tone of voice is a big thing.
Well, you got to remember that's they're picking and choosing what they want to be offended by.
Totally.
So they might see a comment, know that it was meant to be sarcastic, but they read it the way they wanted to hear it, and so then it's because that was the comment they were expecting to see.
Totally.
So since they see it, they don't care about the tone it was used. They're just like, oh, now I'm gonna tear into this dude.
Yeah.
For hating on my white power buddies or whatever.
Oh man.
I know, so many racist people.
I can't stand that white power shit. The white tiki torch fucking march shit. Ugh. Oh, that cracks me up.
It's pretty bad.
It's sad that people like that exist and that we let them.
Yeah, there's a lot of racism back on that east side.
It's bizarre that people feel like empowered to like say it more lately. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be racist people out there for sure. Absolutely.
Right. It's funny because people were like, oh, we were doing so much better and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, it was just a lot of people were shutting the fuck up.
Oh, it's just
they
because
were still
us
hateful.
as a society said we're not going to handle that shit. So those people shut up.
Oh, I hate that shit.
And then, they got a little more empowered with the current presidential stuff. And we don't have to get into Trump right now, but Jesus.
That is just
and
the orange gentleman. That's fine. That's all.
I just want to say about Trump for everyone who's like, yeah, fucking liberals, yeah, against Trump. It's like we can all just admit, like, he's our president. He is everyone's president. We can all hate him equally. People don't need to keep defending him.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed some of the things Obama did as president. I criticized him a lot. I hated when they put him on TV. They had him, they did that interview with him before the Super Bowl the other year, which is like a normal thing for presidents, but like, I'm just like, I don't want to see the president on TV for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't get why it's like we're blurring all this shit into like sports now. Like, I don't care what Trump thinks about football. Like,
No.
Like, why are we listening to like what an old 70-year-old guy says about football? Like, let's worry about the actual problems.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems we could worry about instead.
Yeah.
Like problems that matter, not football.
Oh Jesus, fuck football. Tomorrow's Super Bowl, by the way, everybody. Who cares? Who cares?
In all fairness, I would care if it wasn't the Eagles versus the fucking Patriots.
We would all care if it wasn't the Patriots. I mean, I enjoy the Super Bowl when it's not the Patriots. So I've enjoyed
do you know why it makes me so mad?
I enjoyed like watching 3 Super Bowls in my life because that's how many the Patriots haven't been in.
I don't want the Patriots. I don't want the Patriots to win another one, but I can't root for the fucking Eagles. I just can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, fuck those guys.
I understand.
Ugh. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we should probably wrap this shit up.
Yeah, let's I don't know, you
got to do another one.
That played you in, dude. Music that plays you out.
Nah, fuck it. We don't need to do that.
Oh, we're only half fancy. That's good.
Yeah, that's okay. We're working on it. It's a work in progress. Hey, everyone who listened to this first episode, thank you very much. Nick Kraft in Flagstaff, Arizona, has been a big help with me on the website, and he designed our logos for both of our podcasts. Big thank you to Nick. And Trask in Flagstaff, Trask Snow, made my intro, and he's been a big help on helping me figure out some of this audio shit that I'm not super familiar with. So thank you to Trask also. For everybody interested, you can get MiAZ on Amazon
And Kindle.
and Kindle. WOZ, written by John Long. Check it out. It's awesome. Let us know what you think about it. Go ahead and tweet me at MiAZ podcast on Twitter if you want.
And this is just a side note. For all of you that read reviews before you get a book, ignore the barbecue review. Somebody, and he's probably watching this video right now, which is why I'm trying to make eye contact, like all metal-like. Somebody left an asinine review about fucking barbecue and shit on the goddamn Amazon site. Anyway, you know who you are. You know what you did.
Anyways, thank you for listening, everybody. We have another podcast coming out, Millennial and Marine. We should have 2 episodes going up today on that one, too. Check us out on iTunes and YouTube. And this is the MiAZ podcast. All right. Later, fuckers.
Yeah.